I'd like to start also by acknowledging that we're meeting on the lands of the Kaurna people and extend those respects to elders past, present and emerging, but also to friends and colleagues in the room today from the many Indigenous lands and countries that they've come from. I spend a lot of time in this building, and I always take a moment just to look out the window. It's such an amazing place that we have this privilege to work and live, and so it's just, yeah, it's a great place to look at the country that we're on today. First, congratulations. This is such a big deal. It's fantastic to see that this prestigious centre has been won. They are incredibly competitive, and it's a real testament to the team and everybody that's been involved in this. And as Liam said, I've been asked to share some reflections from a higher degree by research or a PhD student perspective. So a couple of months ago, I think it was maybe 6 months ago, I was sat on a plane on the way to Darwin, and Ian sat down next to me, and what is it, it's a 4-hour flight, something like that. We had the best conversation, but the one thing that struck me was the outcome of this centre hadn't yet been announced, but we knew it was any day now. And just the excitement and enthusiasm that Ian brought to that conversation, I just knew this thing was going to be a tremendous success. And given what I've already heard today, it's just galvanised that view in my mind. You guys are in for such an exciting ride as you go through this. And, here you are. Earlier today, I walked past the room over here and the big glass wall, and I could see the butcher's papers going up, and so lots of good things were happening. I did, however, see you with a big long piece of rope, and it was being passed around from table to table, and I read into that, maybe it was about connections and linking. I don't know, so can someone please explain that to me afterwards over a drink, because I really want to understand the significance of that. But what I could see was a room full of people really talking and engaging with one another, and I think that's a great place to start. As we've heard, Flinders is an institution that's committed to not only delivering the highest quality research and training, but research and training that really matters, research that delivers impact for the communities that we serve. And again, that's a message that's come through very clearly with this centre. And research that crosses discipline boundaries. And I remember a story, a wise old professor told me very early in my career. He said, a lot of academics have solutions to problems that people don't have. Right? So if you're going to go talk to industry, if you're going to go talk to community, whoever it is you're talking to, you need to ask questions. You need to understand what are the problems and the challenges that you can help bring your skills to, and really understand where other people are coming from and gain that perspective. And I think that's exactly what a centre like this does. It brings together a diversity of stakeholders to really understand what are the questions that matter, and then try and find ways to solve them. So another thing that these centres do is they bring together teams, and I was really struck by the diversity of organisations that you've got here in terms of universities, traditional owners, community, industry and so on. It's really exciting to see that. Another little story, someone told me the other day, when you're assembling a panel of supervisors for a PhD student, you need to think of it a little bit like a quiz night. When you go to quiz night, you don't want 4 people on your table that have exactly the same knowledge as you. You want people to come in with those different sets of knowledge, those different perspectives. And so I'm a soil microbial ecologist, and so I'm actually really interested to see some of the stuff you guys do. But I spend a lot of my time in that field, but I work with behavioural economists and with geographers and a whole host of other disciplines, because they bring a perspective that I simply don't have, things that I don't understand, and I find that really enriching. Now, there's a lot of different, well, there could be more, but there's a lot of different funding schemes out there. But I have to say, and I think maybe keep it in this room, but this is one of my favourite, if not my favourite funding scheme, because it has such a strong focus on educating the next generation of leaders. It puts the focus squarely on that next generation. And the reality is our high degree by research students, they are the engine room of the research effort in universities, and I would argue the nation's research effort. They play a really critically important role. They're at the bench, they're in the lab, they're in the field, they're working with communities, they're at the coalface. They are the ones that are really actively working in that space. And so time spent investing in the careers of those people is tremendously important. I think one of the great benefits of a centre such as this one is it helps a PhD student really contextualise their research. So rather than jumping straight into the literature and thinking about what am I going to do, they take that step back, they talk to people, they gain those perspectives, and that helps them set the context for the research that they do. And that time is incredibly well spent, and it really leads to real world impact. I think what it also does is it really prepares the best and brightest to be the leaders of the future. The PhD students and the people that come through this centre are the leaders of the future in this discipline. And so this is a great opportunity to invest in them. I think I'd be remiss to note that in addition to the centre, Flinders has quite a very strong commitment to engaging with industry. We have our own enterprise scholarship scheme that co-funds PhD students with industry. We recently announced the PhD Industry Ready Internship Scholarship. So these are for fully funded internships for PhD students to go and work with industry. We have an overseas internship grant as well. So people can go work with the leading experts around the world as an intern, as a PhD student. And we're also very proud of our nation-leading success in the National Industry PhD program. So again, congratulations. I can see that you guys are off to a fantastic start, and one of the great pleasures of my job as Dean of Graduate Research is I get to see every thesis that's submitted by a student, and we have over 1,000 PhD students, comes across my desk, and I get to just see the amazing work that people are doing, and I can't wait to see the theses from this centre coming through. So thank you.